On September 30th, 2024, the world faced great disappointment. On this day, Jujutsu's manga ended forever. We weren't disappointed because one of the best manga ever was ending, but because the ending sucked! I can't believe I'm making this video, but Jujutsu's manga is back with Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. Manual. I am not 100% sure how to pronounce it. Anyway, the new JJK manga. It's about Yuta and Maki's grandkids, Yuka and Tsurugi. Yuka is more like, Yuta, as you may have guessed, and Tsurugi being like Maki and having very little cursed energy. So far, I'm loving this manga. The main characters are very enjoyable, and the artwork is very good. If you thought the artwork looks a little different from the original Jujutsu Kaisen, you're not wrong. It has a different illustrator, who's funnily enough named Yuji Awasaki. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, because his art's really good. But enough with the intro, and let's actually read the manga, huh? Something most JJK fans don't do. So, grab some popcorn and get your angry comments ready, because in this video, we're talking about Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. We open on a few colored panels at the beginning of the manga with aliens saying how there are people on Earth with powers similar to theirs. They're called Jujitsu sorcerers. Then we cut to Yuka spending time with Yuta, and Yuta gives Yuka his ring, saying that he's worried she's too reckless. This ring will protect her. Yuka proclaiming she'll work really hard. 4 years later, we're at Yuta's funeral, with Yuka grieving over her grandfather's death. We learn that Maki died before Yuta, which I find strange, seeing how Maki had a heavenly pact. Anyway, ever since she died, Yuta has been getting weaker and weaker, until he died. We then see Yuka's mother take away the ring from her, and that it will go to her brother. Outraged with this, she goes to confront Tsurugi, and it doesn't go well, and she vows to get strong enough to take the ring back. We then cut to this guy and kid playing video games. The guy asks if a kid his age should be playing games like this. He says, "Isn't it kind of cruel? The guy just died." And the kid responds, "Nah, that's just kind of normal." The guy says, "Well, if it's so normal, then what if it happened to you?" Meanwhile, we see Yuka now 16 and Tsurugi now 17, where they're being briefed on a case of Japan citizens being abducted for cursed energy. They're told that the three of them will investigate this. That's when we meet Maru, the alien on the cover of the manga. Tsurugi and Yuka are told that he's a foreign sorcerer. However, Tsurugi is hesitant to work with him because he's a newbie. Yuka doesn't really care. Tsurugi and Yuka get into an argument, with Maru just adding to the noise, repeatedly asking, "What's a curse user?" Yuka and Tsurugi then snap and yell at Maru, stating that it means to be an evil sorcerer. And so, they start their investigation. The Okotu siblings sprint off, leaving Maru, so he just sits and thinks. Yuka comes back and makes fun of Maru for crying and making it seem like they're the bad guys. And Maru is shocked at this. They didn't think they did anything wrong. Maru and Yuka then go and get lunch, with Maru discovering how amazing Japan is. Yuka explains how frustrated she is with Tsurugi and how he acts all high and mighty. That's when Maru pitches the idea of just doing the investigation together. And since he's just an observer, it would look like she figured out the case all by herself. Yuka says it's not allowed for sorcerers to do a case by themselves, but she'll do it. So they start their investigation and find out that the people are going missing because of a simple domain on the street. The simple domain causes people to subconsciously want to walk in a certain direction, causing them to go missing. That's when they meet Tsurugi. They then block the street with police tape to make sure people don't go through. But right when they put the tape up, a kid runs through and gets abducted. It was from a curse technique that has teleportation, meaning that there's a pretty high-level sorcerer on the other side of it. To find out who's taking people, Tsurugi lets himself get captured. The curse technique takes people with little cursed energy, so it leaves the tools that Tsurugi had on him. Yuka says they should just leave him and report what they found. However, Maru is against this and says that if Tsurugi dies, Yuka will regret it for the rest of her life. They get into an argument about ideals, which is where my favorite theory about this manga comes into play. The theory I'm talking about states that Maru is the reincarnation of Sukuna after he said that if I ever got a chance at life again, I would choose a different path. Yuka agrees to look for him, but only so she can hit him again. We then cut to Tsurugi talking to the guy from earlier who was playing video games with that kid. where Tsurugi asks why he's doing this. The guy responds saying that he's just doing it because it gives good money. But it doesn't matter, he's leaving this line of work anyway because aliens are coming. He also explains the Con Games Pact. This pact makes it so that anything dealing with cursed energy is Japan's problem. And if I'm reading that wrong, feel free to let me know in the comments because I am not 100% sure that's what it is. During this monologue, it is implied that Yuji died on the same level as Gojo himself. Tsurugi says he thinks that it's stupid he's doing this, and he thinks that it's because he can't get a real job, and that he's more idiotic than kids. The man then starts to beat Tsurugi when Maru and Yuka break down the door to the hideout. It turns out that Maru had an ability to find Tsurugi through his and Yuka's connections. Yuka storms into the hideout, and the first thing she does is ask to fight Tsurugi right here and now. Okay. Tsurugi just agrees to this for some reason and they spar. Just like when they were kids, Tsurugi hits Yuka with the right hook, ending their little brawl. They then direct this anger to the bad guy and fight him. This guy has a technique a lot like Minato's flying Raijin. He can teleport through markings he's made. Maru hands Tsurugi his katana, a cursed tool called Honoyogi? I don't know how to pronounce that either. He then uses new shadow style Bato sword drawing. Whenever he unsheathes his katana, fire releases from said katana. Yuka then uses her technique, Savage Draw Strike Biting Twist, taking down the bad guy. Maru checks on the abducted kids and they're all fine. Tsurugi tells Yuka that she's gotten stronger and that he wants to work hard so he can give the ring back. We then flash back to Tsurugi spending time with Maki. Maki says that Tsurugi is a lot like her in that they both can get stronger through loss. In this case, she means the loss of cursed energy for their heavenly pact. Tsurugi says that he wants a ring too, but Maki says he doesn't need it because he's strong. We then cut to Tsurugi receiving said ring. He says he doesn't want it, that he doesn't need it. His mother says that doesn't matter and that what he wants is relevant. Tsurugi runs away, vowing that he will get stronger so he can prove he doesn't need the ring. He thinks to himself, sorry Yuka, just let me hang on to it until then. We cut back to the present. The villain is starting to fight back with his markings creating energy around the room. Yuka and Tsurugi go on the offensive, but then we see Maru open his third eye, making the bad guy pass out. Yuka and Tsurugi look at Maru in shock and asks, "Are you an alien?" And that's where the chapter ends. That is Jujitsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 1. This first chapter was great. Even if it was only for 3 pages, it was nice getting closure on Yuta and Maki. Even though we got mentions of the original JJK cast, this chapter didn't feel oversaturated with references to the original manga. Overall, I think this is a great start to a manga and I'm very excited to see where it goes. Anyways, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you think it was dumb? Comment down below. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.